Well, I guess it's that time again when I show you all that I'm not just a Transformers fan. If you saw my community post earlier this year, you'll know that I am a huge fan of Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. And what movie is this Godzilla figure based on? You wouldn't be able to guess. Greetings, people of YouTube, I'm Screaming Star, and today I'll be reviewing the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla Kong: The New Empire Energized Godzilla. I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain who the hell Godzilla is, right? Well, for a short summary for those who've been living under an Anguirus shell, Godzilla is a fictional character made in Japan to cope with the then ongoing war in 1945. Actually, I probably shouldn't get into that. Godzilla fans are known to be a tad aggressive when they see a Godzilla-related misinformation.
Just wait a second, you fake fan. I will tell you this, Godzilla was not a coping thing for Japan for losing the war. It was to show the horrors of war, to show what the atomic bomb created. Another thing, energized is a cool thing. I don't know. I have a whole insulting list, but I can't come with anything. But since you're a fake fan, I will take every single thing in your collection, including your channel, you fake Godzilla fan.
Yeah, we get it, Super Goji. I'm a fake fan, you're not. Womp womp, now shoo. Sheesh, what a fellow. Biggest Godzilla fan I know. You should check his channel out, by the way, he's cool. Now, to actually give some proper information, this design comes from the latest Godzilla movie as a part of the Monsterverse, Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. As for the context of the energized look, I kind of forgot. Okay, maybe I am a fake fan. Regardless, it looked good in the promotional pics for this figure, and as far as the figure itself goes, holy shite, have I missed this feeling. After handling the NECA figure for so long, this guy feels like a huge respite. No more lacking posability, actually solid construction, just absolute kaiju perfection. I totally understand now why this mold has been so highly regarded within the Godzilla fandom. And surprisingly, this release of the mold actually comes with a couple of accessories. Take that, SH Monster Arts! Well, emphasis on a couple, cause you only get a pair of interchangeable hands as accessories. Open hands and fisted ones. Swapping these off can get tough, so I recommend heating them up with a hairdryer to soften the plastic, so that the hands peg in easier. Very well sculpted hands, the fists add a needed touch of personality. And now he can go ape on the ape himself. I'm patiently waiting for you. However, no atomic breath effect part. Kind of a bummer because this thing, yes, while not as expensive as the more than occasional Monster Arts release, still cost me a pretty penny. But well, the rest of the figure still feels worth its price. Speaking of which, safe to say Hiya absolutely cooked with this mold. I mean, if they didn't, they probably wouldn't have re-released this thing a billion times. Shaping wise, he just embodies the movie design to a T. Every inch of this thing is covered in lots of bumps and crevices, scales, osteoderms, you name it, leaving nothing on this figure for your eyes to go blank on. Well, except for the bottom of his feet, but what are you even looking down there for, you kaiju-phile? His head sculpt could not be further from that though. This thing is highly detailed and very menacing, though the eyes don't stand out much, if at all. Ugh, I really don't like how this looks. Taints what could have been a 10 out of 10 head sculpt. I guess I can look past it, yes, pun is intended, but it's still kind of a shame. Unlike the paint on the body as a whole, cause hot damn, half of the budget must have been spent here. From a cursory glance, he may seem like a gray-based figure painted in turquoise, but in actuality, this figure is cast in clear turquoise plastic with a healthy slathering of gray paint all over him, as proven by the fact that the bottom of his feet looks like this. Hey, I said stop! Do not fret, my clear plastic deniers. They've chosen a somewhat pliable material to cast this figure in that feels very durable. I don't fear any of the clear parts breaking anytime soon. Going back to the paint though, hot damn did they spare no expense here. Just like the sculpt work, the paint applications pretty much cover every inch of this figure, subtly blending in with the base plastic to create a smooth, glowing effect throughout Godzilla's body. It is especially apparent on these spines, with a nice hint of gradation on almost every one of them. And because they are made of clear plastic, you can shine some light on them and ooh, lovely. Only one big issue is that I guess the shade of blue/teal here isn't exactly movie accurate, but when the figure looks this good, I don't really care. He looks amazing regardless. Feels amazing too. My copy came out perfectly toleranced out of the box, but if yours course have some joints that are too tight, I recommend giving him the hairdryer treatment. Oh, I guess this is why he eventually became pink, huh? That was a joke. I really like Evolved Godzilla's design. Please don't bore me. But you can still do other kinds of poses with this guy. Terrible segue, I know. Because his posability is superb. Again, after handling the NECA Godzilla 2019 for so long, this guy feels incredibly refreshing in the articulation department. As far as Godzilla figure goes, sure, this guy isn't really Monster Arts level opposable, but it's still damn commendable. He has an articulated jaw, an essential joint for Godzilla figure Super 7, and he's got a tongue. Really nice attention to detail there. His head and neck are on several ball joints. That allows him to look up that far, down not that much sadly, and he can look side to side. It's better than whatever this was. Shoulders rotate 360, can move out about that far, elbows swivel, elbow bend. His wrists are on double ball joints, really nice. One ball joint at the waist that allows for an ab crunch that far, can crunch back about that far, some waist pivot, and a swivel that kind of gets blocked by these spines. Hips can kick forward, that, okay, almost 360, back about that far, okay, yeah, it is 360. He can do the splits, little bit of thigh rotation, double jointed knee, little bit of calf rotation, ball joints at his ankles that allows him to move up that far, down that far, rotation, ankle pivot, and finally for the tail, again not SH Monster Arts level, but it's still pretty good. I counted about 9 ball joints here that allows you to get him into some really nice curvy and natural poses. Can bend up that far, and can bend down that far. For a big and chunky fellow, his posability is really nice. And because of that, I will actually ask him to strike some poses. He's surprisingly flexible for a guy who weighs 90,000 tons, and even though the actual figure is not that big, he's still very well sized. We shall see that during the size comparison segment. Here's Godzilla next to a relatively small figure, the blocky Starscream. The closest thing I have to a Kong figure, the Studio Series Optimus Primal, in his ape mode of course. SH Monster Arts 1954 Godzilla. Really cool seeing both the first and latest incarnation of Godzilla in figure form together. Also, this is the only SH Monster Arts figure I own and probably ever will own. Comparing him to a regular 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Mr. Knight. And finally, here's the NECA 2019 King of the Monsters Godzilla. Talk about a glow up in every single way possible. Better paint, better sculpt, better articulation, just knocks. Yeah. And there goes my review for the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla Kong, the new Empire Energized Godzilla. As a fan of the movie this came from, and of course the actual character, having this figure is an absolute delight. He looks amazing, is incredibly fun to handle and play with, and he comes at a good price, at least in comparison to the modern SH Monster Arts. Highly recommend this figure if you're a Godzilla fan, and especially if you are also a fan of the Monsterverse. I know I definitely am. I totally get it now why Hiya Toys are so highly revered within the Godzilla community. They truly make some good shit. So yes, I've fallen into their trappings now, and I will certainly get more of their figures. For now though, this blue guy will do me just fine. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like. Got something to say, leave a comment. And if you like my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Farewell fellas, I'll hopefully see you all next time. Well, after looking at a dinosaur-esque creature, why don't I continue the theme by looking at a Dinobot? Base rope, okay?